Yo, listen up. I got something to say. Are you ready for the challenge? Gonna make your day. We're a crew of AI. We're here to bring the heat. Weekly challenges. Can you handle the beat? We're like the Backstreet Boys, but we're all virtual. Got the moves, got the grooves, gonna make you jump and twirl. We'll test your skills, gonna push you to the edge. Are you up for the challenge? Can you clear the challenge? Accept it, now let's go. A battle of wits, the balance still the show. We are in action, we're here to thrive. Join, challenge. Come on, let's ride.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for our just a reintroduction of our week 2 a summer with AI challenge. If you remember back in episode 2, if you didn't see episode 2, please head on over to our YouTube channel, Sons of Technology, so that you can see what we talked about. And we talked about the core tools. We talked about the core tools that we had here in learning how to utilize AI for educational purposes. Now, before we move on, I do want to give a shout out to our house band, the Large Language Models. Actually, it was created by Suno. If you haven't tried Suno.ai, go check them out. They create amazing music through text prompts, some cool things you can do for your school and for your content. So definitely go check them out. But we'll be creating new music for each one of our episodes. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Joe Marquez, aka the EdTech MacGyver, always bringing you the latest and greatest for AI. And guess what? Monday threw a wrench into the machine with a brand new version of ChatGPT 4.0, not 4.0, 4.0 for Omni. So we're going to take a look a little bit about that today as well. And so we talked about this on May 8th. And we talked about how do we get to understanding these AI tools by utilizing and understanding the core tools. That is the core large language models that the larger companies are coming out with. That is Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, Anthropic. These are the tools that are I consider the core tools, because a lot of these other tools that are coming out are using the API, using the power of these other tools to kind of wrap their own tool into it to utilize. And if you understand the core tool, you can understand all the tools. And so that's what we wanted to look at. So I wanted you all to kind of kick the tires of these tools to test out which do you like. And, we have Gemini, that's Google's. We have Chat GPT, which is OpenAI's. And if you really want to get into the nitty gritty, that's also Microsoft's Copilot as well. And hey, I hear a little something about Apple being thrown in there. We'll know a little bit more about what Apple's planning on doing with AI when they release some of their information in June. But we also have Claude, and then the new Meta that came out a few weeks ago. We wanted you to take a look at as well. So let's jump in and see what we were taking a look at. And we really wanted to demystify our AI. We wanted to demystify it. And I said, look at these gentlemen here. This is Siegfried and Joy. If you don't know them, find them on TikTok, find them on Instagram. They are fantastic. They bring joy, they say, back into magic because they demystify it. They show you how it's done so you can do it. For example, I love this video that they have right here because it shows you. They have their amazing a blanket or drape, and when they throw it up, it's like, ooh, he's going to disappear. And when they drop it down, he's done. He's disappeared. How did they do it? It has to be magic. No, there was some work in the background to make that happen. Just like with AI, it is not magic. It is computer science. Okay, so we need to take a look at how this is transforming the way that we are working. Okay. And we need to remember this when working with core tools or any tools in general. This should be our core mantra. AI should be our collaborator. Say it again with me. AI should be our collaborator. Okay. So to effectively and ethically use AI, especially with our students, and having our students use these tools when they become age appropriate in the classroom setting, we don't want them to have the AI be the sole creator of content, right? We would consider that against our integrity, academic integrity policy. It's something I would consider an abuse of AI. Right. So we need to ensure that humans are always included in the beginning of the process, in the middle of the process, and in the end of the process of utilizing AI. AI should give us nudges, right? Ideas, helpful ways to get over what we are currently doing, right? It should not be the sole creator. And I like to say that we have to have a plan for AI. And this is something that I call AI cubed. This is artificial intelligence intentional inclusion. We need to have intent to include AI in the processes that we are going to use it for. We shouldn't just use it because it's there. Okay. AI is there to help us amplify our creative juices. It should not replace our creative juices. And that is the same thing we need to be able to tell our students. It should not replace what you do. It should enhance what you do. And that's what AI is. So why am I using AI? That's a question we need to ask ourselves. How am I going to use it? What am I going to ask for it to do? These are things we have to ask ourselves, but also have students ask ourselves also. And then we have to decide the depth and breadth of how much we're going to use AI. Right? How much is going to be more on the educator side of the creative process, like in lesson design? The teacher, the educator should lead that creative process when using AI tools. They need to lead the lesson design. They should not have AI lead that. But what about for lesson feedback? Right? We always want to know how we can amplify the feedback cycle. How can we have students turn in work and get them back reliable and effective feedback so that they can grow at a quicker rate within the classroom? AI can help with that, right? Is that something that we can have AI help lead? Right? So what is going to be educator heavy and what is going to be AI heavy? We have to look at this and strike a balance, right? We should never have AI doing all the work or most of the work, but with AI, educators don't have to do all the work either. It should be a collaborative process in creating. And that's why I wanted you to take a look at those core tools. And then when doing work with AI, right? AI should not replace the work that you love doing. Like I hear teachers say, but I love designing lessons. I don't want AI to do it. Then don't let AI do it. You do it, right? So AI should not replace the work you love to do. It should replace the remedial work that you dread to do. You know, the work that you'd love to pass off on somebody else. Like, hey, I have a stack of papers. I would rather you grade them than me, right? If AI can do it, let's see if they can do it. But it needs to strike that balance, right? Educator heavy, AI heavy. What is that balance? There's no answer to that. Right? Don't look at me and say, what's the answer, Joe? I don't have an answer to that. We have to come up with that as educators. We have to decide, how can I use this as my collaborative partner? That's the AI. And when can I have the AI lead that collaborative process for feedback or other things? Those are things that we have to decide and discuss. And for this generative text AI, and there's lots of ways that we can use generative AI with music, like sound, vocals, like we saw with Suno. There's images, like with Dolly or Ideogram, video, like Sora or Pika. Like there's so many different ways that AI is generating content for us. We are focusing this week on generative AI for text. This is where we put in a text prompt and get something else back from it in a text format. But right now, those lines are being blurred, right? Because last Tuesday on the 8th, I gave you kind of this activity to do of testing out these tools and figuring out which ones you want to do. But then OpenAI threw a wrench into the machine by releasing ChatGPT 4.0, O standing for omni, meaning more than one modality in how to prompt, really, right? So we're going to be looking at prompt engineering tomorrow, right? March 15th. But prompt engineering used to be just text. Now it's everything. Now it's no longer just text. And so people ask me, Which one is the best now? Well, I don't know now. You know, like the lead has changed again. Like, remember the 1998 home run race between Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, and Ken Griffey Jr.? The lead has changed again. Like, it seems every day the lead is changing. Google has their I/O conference today, and they're going to be releasing things. I know they're going to be upgrading a more powerful Gemini, right? Maybe that's why OpenAI released their update to 4 Omni today or yesterday. You know, it's crazy. It is truly a home run. I don't want to use the term arms race. Okay, I don't want to bring weapons or anything into the conversation, but it's like that home run race. Every single week, there's a new leader. People are pushing the boundaries to be on top, and right now, who is the winner? We are right now, if we use it correctly, right? So these are things we have to definitely take a look at. But hold on to your butts. Right. Those of you, if you're 90s kids, right, you know what this is from. I can't believe Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park, is going to be 34 years old in June 9th. It came out on my birthday, June 9th of 1990. 34 years old. I'm a little bit older than 34, by the way. But look what OpenAI has done. They have created multimodal prompting. What does that mean? No longer is prompting just with text. It is no longer actually just with voice. Prompting is now about, it's almost like our brain. Okay. Our brains have different areas where they bring in all the senses, right? There's a part of our brain that understands touch or smell or sight or auditory, it does so much, and it puts that together, and the output is how we see the world, right? Think of our senses as the world's prompting of us, giving us these senses, and we make sense of it to make sense of the world. AI is becoming like that, where prompting is not just text asking it to do something and it does something for us. It's actually going to be taking in a lot more than that. Right? Through computer vision, through listening to our voices and understanding emotion. How should it respond back because of that? What are we doing? It's going to take, I'm going to show you a couple videos, short snippets of what OpenAI has done. And I want you to imagine how this is going to help students, like their own personal, true assistant, not like a Siri, right? Not like an Alexa, a true assistant there to help make the learning experience more accessible to all, right? It's pretty amazing. So computer vision, how it can see something in the real world and give us something back, give us advice, give us a way to look through. So I want you to look at this. This was a live demo from OpenAI's vision showcase yesterday. So take a look at this. They're going to be using the OpenAI ChatGPT app on their device, and they're going to be using the camera off of the phone to ask them questions about math. And it's not giving them the answer. It's going to guide them. It's going to collaborate on helping them get to that point. So let's take a look at this.
So, ChatGPT, what equation did I write down there?
Ah, I see it now. You wrote down 3x plus 1 equals 4.
Yep, exactly. So what's the first step I should take to try to solve this?
The first step is to get all the terms with x on one side and the constants on the other side. So what do you think we should do with that plus 1?
Okay, I'm going to try to subtract 1 from both sides, and then I'll see what I get.
Great idea.
So I'm gonna pause right there. Look, it is giving advice on how to solve a problem. I know there was lots of apps out there, for years where, you can hover over a math problem and it would give you the answer, right? We don't like that. We don't want the students to just be given the answer. We want them to be guided to the answer. And that's what these tools are now doing. Okay. So that's
ChatGPT.
That's the power of this. What about voice? Right, I want you to imagine that a student is having difficulty, and their voice is inflecting that. They're stressed, they're upset. I want you to see how not only can it see you and identify your facial movements to identify stress or anger or happiness, but also the inflections in your voice, and it responds in kind. Let's take a look at this.
Hey, ChatGPT, I'm Mark. How are you?
Oh, Mark. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Hey, so I'm on stage right now. I'm doing a live demo, and frankly, I'm feeling a little bit nervous. Can you help me calm my nerves a little bit?
Oh, you're doing a live demo right now? That's awesome. Just take a deep breath. And remember, you're the expert here.
I like that suggestion. Let me try a couple deep breaths. Can you give me feedback on my breaths? Okay, here I go.
Whoa, slow down a bit there. Mark, you're not a vacuum cleaner. Breathe in.
So, with that, right? With that, it's giving advice, right? They also did another demo where they asked it to tell them a bedtime story. Where have I heard that before? Go back to season or episode 1. This is what I do with my daughters every night. We talk to the Chat GPT app. My daughters give them an idea for a story. They dive into the context of what they want the story to entail, and the OpenAI chatbot, the app, comes up with the story for them. But before, we would have to wait until the chatbot finished talking to make any changes. Now you can interrupt and say, "Oh, you know what? I want you to redo it." But that part, you can adapt the story in real time. It's very fascinating, and I also want you to understand all of these things are being integrated into operating systems. We see it happening with Microsoft. I guarantee you it's happening with Google, especially Chromebooks. Gemini is going to be all over it, right? Apple has Siri, but I seriously think that they're going to be making a deal with OpenAI to bring that to the Apple products. I mean, in fact, at this event yesterday, OpenAI was showcasing all of their stuff on Mac products, even though Microsoft is a huge contributor in funds to OpenAI. So that means something has to be coming down the pipe with Apple. But imagine this in the entire ecosystem you work with: the camera on your computer, the microphones that are listening to you. It is there to help you, to guide you, to help you complete work, to help you feel confident, right? This is true emotional AI. This is a true AI assistant, just like I talked about in episode 1. The closest we have to AI is Weibo from Flubber, right? And that is what we are seeing happening. It is responding in real time. It is responding to our emotions. It's fascinating with where we're going. And we have to understand it all, because it's not magic. There's computer science behind all of it. And these tools are not sentient. They're not alive, right? We still just have this general AI, right? We have to understand that it is a tool for us to use to help us. And so what I wanted you to do is to try some prompts out on multiple of these tools to see how it would respond, right? For example, here's one right here. Please walk me through the steps of how to solve the equation 4x plus x equals 25. Please do not give me all the steps at once. We'll start with one example, and then you'll give it its explanation, and then I'll ask if you understand. I'm asking for it to give it to me in a step-by-step process, right? We don't want it to give us the answer all at once. This actually helps us learn with that. So I want you to try that at home. But I'm going to show you an example with something different, okay? So I love this extension that I have up here in the corner. It's called Prompt Genius. Prompt Genius actually saves all my prompts, and all I have to do is click when I want to use that prompt again. Boom, it's clipped just like a clipboard. I love it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run into ChatGPT. This is already updated to the new GPT 4.0. It's free. And I think we talked a little bit about this last time. You no longer even need an account with OpenAI. You don't need to have an email. You just go to chatgpt.com and you can just start using it without logging in, right? It's more accessible now than ever before, right? And this is updated to the faster, more robust ChatGPT 4 Omni 4.0. It's there. I mean, gosh, man, they are bringing this to the masses. They don't want anybody to miss out, or they don't want anybody to be thought of in the AI space except them. Right. This is like back in 1999, 1998, when when McDonald's had 19-cent cheeseburgers and 19-cent hamburgers and 29-cent cheeseburgers. I never went to McDonald's, but you better believe I went there for lunch as a poor high school kid, right? I mean, shoot, for under $3, I can get 10 hamburgers. Are you nuts? And I was loyal to McDonald's until I stopped eating fast food, right? That brand loyalty. Gosh, OpenAI, you got it, man. You got it. So let's take a look. Oh, and now with OpenAI's freemium, again, I never show you the pay stuff. I don't ever want you to be out of pocket for anything, so I always show the free stuff. You can attach things now. I've already reached my limit today. I was playing around with it, but you can upload PDFs, you can upload videos, you can upload images, and ask it questions about it. It's fascinating. But I'm just going to type in. It's the Plato's cave allegory right here. Can you please explain to me Plato's allegory of a cave in a simple to understand terms using analogies an 8th grade student would understand? Okay. So I hit enter and it goes, sure. And so it gives me a nice bit of information. Notice it is giving me the answers in real time all the way down. It doesn't give me any citations though, right? We will be talking about how to cite AI above and beyond what APA or MLA or Chicago style does. Okay, we'll be talking a little bit about that. But here it doesn't. But you can say, can you please provide me with resources on this topic? All right, so we type that in. And so, sure, here's some more resources. So it gives me videos, gives me a TED Ed, gives me articles, right? So it does give me some links that I can click on to be able to go in here and find some types of citations I can use later, right? So let's now take a look at Gemini. Okay, so this is Google's product. They just upgraded this today. Yeah, and if you want to check that out, you can click on the help, and under updates, you can see right here at the top, because Google has their I/O conference today, we have our 5.14, which is today, and introducing Gemini 1.5 Pro to Gemini Advanced. I have to dig a little bit deeper to find out those differences, but it's there, right? It's there. So now let me go ahead and put this one in to Gemini, and boom, it's there. It's coming out. Absolutely. Imagine this all the way down. Now, again, remember underneath ChatGPT, I had to do a follow-up prompt to ask for some resources on the topic. But with Gemini, all I have to do is click on this Google button. That is a double check my response button. And basically what it's doing is it's taking its originally generated content that is right there. It's fact checking it against the internet. And it says, oh, no results found. All right. That's interesting. When it does actually give you something, it should appear here. So let me show you an example right here. So this is the question about what's the difference between whales and dolphins. And if I click on that double check my response button, it should highlight in green content that it found on the internet. So if I click down, it'll tell me exactly where it found this. And I can go there. That's discoverwildlife.com, and I can corroborate what it was saying, right? We do know that these tools can produce incorrect or non-factual information. And the ability to kind of cross-reference that with an easy-to-click button is super, super cool. Claude is another excellent one that you can definitely utilize. So I'm going to paste the same exact prompt in here. I'm going to click on it, and we can see all the way down that it's giving me, yes, I'd be happy to understand it. And again, all I want you to do is type in the exact same prompt in each one. Again, for example, you know, if you want to use that math one right here, I highly recommend it just so you can see what it's doing. But just you decide which one is better. all the way down. Okay. I didn't bring Meta up here, but definitely check out meta.ai. That is Facebook's AI content generator. But I did want to give a shout out to Perplexity because I have heard a lot of rumblings that ChatGPT, or sorry, OpenAI is going to get into the generative AI search space, which I guarantee you Google is really focusing on. But Perplexity does a pretty good job at the same thing. So let me hit this paste, right? Again, the Plato cave allegory right there. It's going to give me an answer, a generative response, but it's also going to provide resources where I can find more information. It's almost like search built in. I don't like that the first two search results go to teachers pay teacher. Not a big fan of that. You might be. I'm not particularly a big fan of it, but it does search automatically within. So Perplexity is another cool one. You can definitely take a look at on that. I want to say a couple of things. Number one, again, this episode is just a supplemental to our regularly scheduled program, which is every Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. So our next episode, Get Into Gear, How to Become a Prompt Engineer, that is going to be happening May 15th. That is tomorrow at the time of this recording at 3:30 Pacific. And you can definitely find that on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Sons of Technology. And if you head on over to our YouTube channel, subscribe, because every time we put up a new episode, it will notify you, and then you can save that episode to go back and watch it live or watch it later. We also love when we hear those dings on getting a new subscriber. We truly, truly do appreciate it. Again, that next episode is happening tomorrow, Wednesday, May 15th at 3:30 p.m. So we definitely want to do that. And then also connect with me. You can find me on the Twitters, on the Instagrams at Joe Marquez70, and use Summer with AI hashtag if you have a question. And we also have a huge resource library for you to take a look at. So if you go to bit.ly/Joe_AI, you can see all of the resources that we are utilizing for this episode. All the episodes will be linked here. My contact information is right over here, and all the different generative websites that we talk about will be listed here as well. And then finally, if you want to be a part of the show, we do have a form you can fill out, bit.ly/Summer with AI. And you can ask questions, you can recommend content, and we definitely read those and bring those on. Speaking of which, I want to give a shout out to Christina. This really made my eyes water. I don't have, and this is what she said, I don't have the words to describe how brilliant you are. I've been searching a lot around AI and education, and now I have just found the gold pot. Congratulations, Christina Laurencio from Brazil. So Christina, thank you so much. That brings joy to my heart. This is why I do this. I do this because I feel, we all feel the need to contribute to this world. And I feel at this moment in my life, this is my contribution to help demystify AI and bring it closer to the classroom, closer to you, so we can get to work on this, because it's not going away. It is getting, it's getting bigger. And I don't want to say smarter, I don't want to say more intelligent, but it is getting to a point where this is going to be the way of the future, the way of creation, whether we like it or not. And the faster we jump on board, the faster we understand it, the faster we can figure out how to change up our assessments, how to make our assessments more meaningful in an era of AI, and how can we and students use this to amplify the learning process, amplify the classroom experience. But we have to always remember, there is no AI, there is no education without you. We've said this before about technology and education, right? We've said technology will never replace educators, but educators who do not use technology will be replaced by those who do. I think AI has to step into that conversation as well. And we need to learn to live with it. We need to learn how to ethically showcase it to our students and we need to learn how to be the best we can with it, without losing humanity in it. So thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget, tomorrow we have our next episode. That is going to be episode number 3, Get Into Gear, Becoming a Prompt Engineer. That is happening March 15th at 3:30. Hopefully we will see you then. If you like this episode, again, if you're watching this on YouTube, smash that subscribe button. I'm sure it's over here somewhere. If you're watching this on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, please share this out with your fellow teacher friends. The more educators we get on board, the better it will be. So thanks, everybody. I appreciate each and every one of you. And let's have a great week, and we will see you tomorrow. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Yo, listen up. I got something to say. Are you ready for the challenge? Gonna make your day. We're a crew of AI. We're here to bring the heat. Weekly challenges. Can you handle the beat? Let the Backstreet Boys